your first boy you got to come get is Kayvon Ojutari, who has a trade idea for us, Mike, here. It's the Jets get quarterback Daniel Jones and a second-round pick, and the Giants get Sauce Gardner. He says Danny Dimes can be the successor to Aaron Rodgers, and then the Giants fill a cornerback need. Mike, you buying this bullshit?
He needs to be drug tested. I mean, he needs to be drug tested. Ain't no way in hell that Sauce Gardner's ever getting traded for Danny Dimes. I mean, that is just never going to happen. Daniel Jones may not start an NFL game the rest of his career. He's been benched for Danny DeVito, aka what was his name? What were they calling him last year?
Mario Brothers.
Yeah. He's known in the New York landscape of having the mob agent, and I don't know, man. I just think that Danny Dimes thing has run its course. There's no way that trade even makes logical sense. None.
But Mike, the rumor is they're getting rid of Aaron Rodgers. Where else do you go than Danny Dimes? It feels like the next, if you're destroying your organization, right, from the inside out. Yeah, Danny Dimes is the savior, correct?
I'm getting into the New York train system, and I'm pulling somebody from there before I'm going Danny Dimes. I'll tell you that. I ain't going there. I ain't doing that.
Guys. Mike, I love Aaron Rodgers, and not for the reasons most people do. I just think he's a very weird dude. I like weird dudes. I think they're interesting people who will say whatever they think. I like that. But it's got to be a rough day right now for Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he literally came into this organization and caused an implosion. Yeah. People don't have jobs anymore because of Aaron Rodgers. The general managers getting fired. There's how do you explain this? Sets them back 5 years, right? Like this, if they start rebuilding right now, it's what Rodgers has a dead cap, doesn't he? There are problems. I feel like they have to stick with Aaron Rodgers if he's willing to stay for at least one more year.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, right? I mean, you would think that they're going to be probably top 5 in the draft this year. And then that kind of leads the question, where do you go? Because defensively, they're pretty solid. So I don't know if you're going to pull from that side. Offensively, you could probably go an offensive lineman, possibly. Receiver, I mean, they've kind of dipped their toe in that. You would think the logical thing would be to draft a top 5 quarterback and just have them in waiting. I mean, that seems to be, but then it's okay, well, is it really a good situation to bring a rookie into and possibly ask him to maybe take over if Rodgers decides to retire? Because it doesn't look like he's really enjoying the game right now. I could be wrong, but it just doesn't seem like he's got that twinkle in his eye right now.
But we've seen this team minus Aaron Rodgers last year with Zach Wilson. We've seen the young top 5 quarter. I don't know. Here's my issue, Mike. If they don't shut it down, if they don't completely pull these guys out, isn't this the kind of team that fucks around and wins 3 or 4 more games and is just a middle of the pack draft pick? They're not going to get that top 5 unless they shut it down. This feels like the type of team that once all the pressure is gone, they're going to win, 4 or 5 bullshit games and put them. I feel like you got to shut it down. You got to turn the engines off then.
I honestly don't think they're capable of winning 4 more.
Oh, you
games.
Don't think so? Really?
I don't. I mean, was it the last 2 weeks that they've had games? I mean, they had the Cardinals, and then who did they just lose to this week? I can't remember who they played. Colts. The Colts. I mean, those were 2 games that you probably should. Yeah, I mean, you probably should have picked those up. So I don't. I mean, in your division,
can't get the rest of them.
I don't know, man. I mean, maybe they pull off 2, but they're going to be a top 5.
Okay.
Pick team. Yeah, for sure.